welcome to the Mind of Ro page. So today I'm actually at Mount Rainier at Christine's Waterfall in the mountains because I'm here to pay my respects to Obatala. So for the last few weeks I've been making some videos on how to serve the Orishas and the Netaru to help balance our chakra centers. So if you're not sure what chakra centers are, they're our energy centers and within our body that make up our soul, basically, just to be basic about it. And so this week I'm going to be focused on our crown chakra. So our crown chakra is our 7th chakra, which is located above our head, about 6 inches above our head, is associated with the color white, and is our connection to our higher self and our connection to the universe. So I chose Obatala in regards to help heal our connection to our higher self, because he is also associated with the color white, and he's also associated with dreams, purity, and peace, which is basically our higher self. So that's why I chose Obatala to be the best Orisha to do work with in regards to helping heal and balance our crown chakra. So before I get started, if you love my stuff, please share and subscribe to my channel at Mind of Ro, and don't forget to hit that notification bell, and find me on Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitter at Mind of Ro. So let's move on really quick. So actually I'm going to turn the camera around really quick so you can kind of see what I'm looking at, so you can see how beautiful it is out here. I know it's beautiful right now. So let's talk about Obatala really quick. So Obatala is the chief of the spirit of the white cloth. He is the father of the sky, creator of the human bodies, and father of all Orishas. Obatala brought us to life by the smooth breath of Oludumare. So if you're wondering why he is called the spirit of the white cloth, if you think about the symbology of what a cloth does and what white represents, go ahead and kind of meditate on that concept, and then you'll kind of understand why Obatala is considered the Orisha of the white cloth. He is associated with the number 8, as if you know that number 8 is actually also looks like that infinity sign. And he's not only associated with the color white, but also clear and silver. He likes the foods that are white, so like rice mixed with milk, coconuts, white potatoes, and one thing you're not supposed to ever give Obatala is alcohol. Only give him food or water are the best offers for him or her. So Obatala could either be considered a him or a her, or an it, or all of the above. Why contact Obatala? Especially for your crown chakra, because Obatala will actually help you with your thoughts, your dreams, your purity, and your concept of peace, or to get inner peace. So the reason why you would want to do some work with Obatala is because when you make offers to Obatala, he or she brings you a cool head, as in cools your thoughts down, cools your emotions down, and brings you a whole lot of peace. And that's why you want to work with Obatala, especially in regards to a lot of second thoughts in our brain, because that's actually what causes a really major imbalance within our crown chakra. So it's really hard to connect to the universe and our higher self if we have a lot of what we call monkey chatter in our mind. So Obatala will actually help clear the brain chatter to make it easier to be able to connect with your higher self and messages from the universe, or from the Orishas or Netaru, or your ancestors, and so on. So my personal experience with Obatala, the first time I met Obatala, I thought Obatala was just heat from what I've learned from other people, from what I've learned from the internet. So when I summoned Obatala for the first time, I noticed that he was a he at first, and he was very like respect. Like he really wanted his altar that I created for him to be very clean, to be very neat, and to have things in a specific way. And he seemed like he got kind of irritated if I had something misplaced, or if I wasn't approaching him respectfully. Like he wanted me to make sure that I greeted him respectfully and I approached him respectfully, and if he gave me a message, for me to reply in a respectful way instead of saying no or resisting the message. I feel like even the thought of doubting our own feelings, that when Orisha speaks to us, I know a lot of us do that I do it myself, that sometimes we can feel like an Orisha is communicating, our spirit's communicating, and we kind of question it, like, oh, is that really what they're saying, or is that just in my head? I noticed when I was communicating with Obatala that he got irritated by that. He was like, you hear what I'm saying? You're ignoring me. Show me more respect. But as soon as I started to show a lot more respect and understanding of who Obatala was, and learning to kind of humble myself to Obatala, I noticed that Obatala's energy kind of changed to a woman. And then all of a sudden a female started speaking to me. And I went into a meditative state, and I had this image of her washing my head. And she was very calm, she was very understanding, she was very peaceful, her voice was very light. And when I was done with the meditation, I felt so peaceful. And a lot of the things that was bothering me prior to speaking to Obatala at that time, I feel like once I got out of the meditation, I felt like she washed it away from me. That she kept speaking to me, and I kept seeing and actually feeling the water being poured and poured on my head. She had like a vase pouring water on my head, and I actually felt it physically. And she had my head up this way, and it was pouring down my head, and I could feel it washing my hair. And I felt like the heaviness that I had within my mind and my body and my emotions and spirit was being washed away and smoothed away. And as soon as I was done speaking to Obatala, and I kind of woke up from this meditation, I felt so calm and peaceful. That just the whole entire apartment felt so calm and peaceful, and the things that were bothering me before the meditation was just completely gone. That she just completely just washed all the debris out of my way, and I felt like a totally different person afterwards, and it was beautiful. I love it. I appreciate Obatala for it, and I'm actually about to be crowned Obatala here pretty soon, so I'm pretty excited to see how that's going to affect me. Recently I got my warriors, so I have an altar of Eshu and also Ogun, and I realized that Ogun energy is really fierce and kind of like war energy. So, and I haven't even been crowned him. I just have a consecrated altar of him, and his energy is so strong, so I don't even know what kind of experience I'm going to have when I actually get crowned in Orisha. I'm excited, a little nervous, but more excited. But whatever my experience is, that when I do get crowned Obatala, I will definitely share my experiences with you and let you know how it feels. I know that just meeting Obatala in a meditative state was very magical, so I'm going to suppose and know that having Obatala altar or being crowned Obatala is going to be probably 10 times or 100 times more intense than just meditating with Obatala, and I can't wait, actually. So that's my personal experience with Obatala. Also, there's a lot of videos that I make of different Orishas, and a good majority of the Orishas that I post about or make videos on, I usually kind of set up a temporary altar and then kind of put it away, because I'm not really initiated into all the Orishas, of course, you know. So Obatala was one of the Orishas that I was not initiated into yet, that I actually made a pop-up altar, I guess you could say, that she wanted to actually stay and have me keep a little corner in my home specifically for Obatala. So I do have a space on my windowsill for Obatala that I kind of keep all white things, and I still serve Obatala food now and then on a regular basis. Out of all the Orishas, he or she is the only one that I really keep up all the time. That's not a consecrated one, because that's what Obatala wanted. Because obviously they're beyond space and time, so Obatala already knew that I was going to have an Obatala altar. Therefore, I guess it was good practice to just keep just a regular one within my home, or just keepsakes or anything that I want to give to Obatala in a certain area of my home, specifically just for him or her. So how do you know that Obatala is around you? So signs that Obatala is around you is actually, of course, feeling a sudden sense of peace, seeing a lot of the color white, seeing symbols or images of animals that represent Obatala, that are sacred to Obatala, and that is actually elephants, the boa constrictor, a white horse, and also oh sorry, my video cut out. Okay, so I'm back again. So Yeah, so the silverback is also sacred to Obatala. So if you see any of these images, or maybe you people wearing them on their shirts, or maybe you've seen them a lot of these animals popping up on TV with the color white, and a feeling of maybe that, also a feeling of wanting respect from people, as a major Obatala trait, because Obatala does not like disrespect. She does not deal with it and as soon as this Orisha feels disrespected, he or she is very like respect, respect, respect. So if you feel a lot of that energy kind of flowing through you, of course not in a toxic way, but more like a I'm standing up for myself kind of way, that's a lot of Obatala energy, and that mixed up with a lot of peace. So I guess you could kind of say it's kind of like this, hey, peace, man, or I'll kill you type of concept, kind of, to the extreme, obviously, but that's kind of the idea of like the Obatala energy. So that's how you kind of know Obatala is around, is those symbols of those animals, and also the colors that represent Obatala, which is white, clear, silver, mixed with those animals and mixed with the feeling of wanting to be respected and the concept of the feeling of peace. So I'm just going to read a little bit about Obatala really quick, because I want to talk about the false idea of perfection. So the Yoruba concept of compassion does not emanate from a perfect God towards imperfection and error-prone created beings, as is the case in most spiritual traditions. God shows compassion because the human being erred. Obatala shows compassion because he himself or her himself is erred. This remarkable self-concept makes Obatala the fairest god of the universal pantheon. So that being said, I would like to talk about the false concept, or the false idea of perfection. So I notice there's a major trait in the New Age spirituality that we have to be like this perfect version, that whatever, I don't know who's spreading this on the internet, that there's a perfect like view of how a human being should act, and if you're not acting like that, then therefore you are not enlightened. This is false. This is not true. And thinking like that could actually cause you way more damage in your mind and way more resistance within your energy than reward. Because if we think that we have to always feel like we always have to reach a certain point constantly, or else we're not enlightened, then we're taking ourselves from the present moment, and we're not accepting who we are as well. And we are really giving ourselves a hard time. And that's kind of like a mental abuse to ourselves, because you're expecting yourself to be something you're not, and you're expecting yourself to be this unrealistic character that really doesn't exist, that was just made up by a whole bunch of people with fake masks on that run around on the internet and act like they're perfect when they're a completely different person off the internet. So this is the whole concept of Obatala, that we're just human. Humans have error, and we are perfectly imperfect, and that's okay. And Obatala loves us for that. So therefore, we need to love ourselves for that, because Obatala lives within all of us, not only within us, but out in the universe as well. So this is what brings us peace. We have this illusion that we think that, well, if I'll be peaceful and happy once I reach a specific point in life. That's just misery. That's just misery, because then you're always looking ahead and hoping you're going to be something one day, and then that's basically you be looking at yourself and saying, well, I'm not good enough, and I'll be good enough when this happens. And that's just not healthy for us, and that's miserable. And we need to learn how to be in the present moment and be able to love ourselves at the level of consciousness that we are at. And we learn to do what brings us peace and harmony, because we're not always trying to run somewhere, and we're not always trying to run from something. When we stop trying to run from something and stop constantly trying to run to something, and learn how to find that happy space within the middle, that's where peace is at, when we are able to be in the present moment. Because nothing will happen in the future until we learn how to gain control of ourselves in this present moment. And that's where balance is at, and that's where happiness is at, and that's where peace is at. So, and that's what a lot of Obatala represents, is being able to be one with herself and accepting herself as who we are and all our imperfections. Because some of your imperfections can be perfect in somebody else's eyes, and some of your perfections can be imperfect in other people's eyes. So whatever it is that you accept yourself for, then that's what it is. There's nothing wrong with that. Just be you, boo, and just love yourself. You know, that's Obatala energy right there. So that being said, I always like to share a little information on how to serve Orishas. So I'm actually going to give you a little quote that you could say, or prayer that you could say to Obatala as you leave an offer for Obatala. So I would suggest, if you leave an offer, always go somewhere very, very high. The higher the better. That's why I'm in the mountain. This is actually where a lot of Obatala energy is at, is in the mountains. So what you would do is you would go to the mountains, and of course you would always divine first. You always divine and find out what exactly Obatala wants for whatever request that you have, and then you always feed Eshu first. And then once you're done doing that, then you would take those offers to the mountain, and then you would make your offer. And I'm going to tell you, and I'm just going to tell you a little thing you could say. This is actually for non-initiates. That's a little part of what some initiates say. I'm not supposed to say the whole thing, so I'm just going to give you a little piece of what you could say. So what you do is you would take the food to the mountains, and this is what you would say. I'm going to turn this around so you can see what I'm looking at. Praise to the chief of the white cloth. I salute the owner of the white cloth. It is the owner of consciousness that I serve. He who creates at will. I thank you. Ashe. So if you like my videos, please subscribe to my YouTube channel at The Mind of Ro, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. And if there's any Orishas you would like me to make a video on that I have not made a video on, go ahead and shoot me a message, and I'll make one specifically just for you. Last week I did a video on our ancestors. So tomorrow, because I'm still working on our chakras, tomorrow I'm going to do a video on us. Not tomorrow, but in 2 days I'm going to make a video on Asar and Ra for our crown chakra. So look out for that video. I hope everybody is having a peaceful day. Ashe.